This episode is brought to you by the Insurgents Experience. The Insurgents Experience is a ministry mastermind mentoring program for kingdom leaders. This is different from my normal mentoring resource, which is the Deeper Christian Life Network. The Insurgents Experience is a 1-year high-level mentoring mastermind for people who regularly teach and or preach. This would be lead pastors, traveling teachers, church planters, missionaries, those who teach in Bible colleges and in seminaries. At the time that I'm recording this, I am working with 11 kingdom leaders, most of whom are lead pastors of churches who are in their 30s. If you're interested in the Insurgents Experience and want to learn more about it, you can go to ministrymind.org, ministrymind, all one word, .org. That will bring you to the Insurgents Experience page. You could read all about it, and if it resonates, go ahead and apply. When registration opens, you will be contacted. Hi, fun seekers. Welcome to another edition of the Christ is All podcast. And before I get into today's subject, I want to thank all of you who have purchased and read one or more of my books. The publishers that I have, which are multiple, Thomas Nelson, Tyndale, Baker, David C. Cook, etc., periodically will send me the sales numbers. Now, let me preface this by saying if you're new to my work, I think you should know that I do not personally profit from my book sales. And book sales basically mean very little in the way of income for any author, unless you're someone like Rick Warren or Joel Osteen or T.D. Jakes. The average author does not make much money at all per book. Anyway, the publishers have given me a report, and as of April 2022, the combined book sales of my 15 titles that have been professionally published, that's the number at this time, is over 500,000 copies. And so I want to thank all of you who have purchased a book. I write books for one reason, and that is to share what has impacted me, what has altered me, what has worked in my own life. I remember years ago a minister who would speak at a lot of conferences, and he would have his sermons on audio for sale on the book table. And a woman asked him, "Why don't you have any sermons on waiting on God?" And his response was, "Because I'm impatient. And I'm not going to speak on something that's not working in my own life." And I thought that was an excellent answer. There are many things that I do not write about because I don't really know much about them. God hasn't called me to write about them. They're not my burden. And other people have written on them in spades. So you're not going to find a book by Frank Viola on the different views of atonement because someone's already written that book. I write the book that I want to read, but that doesn't exist. And you will find that all of my work is either completely unique in the topic it treats, or it treats the topic in a radically fresh way. I also write books based on my own experience, that which has been tested and has worked in my own life. But there are many, many subjects I will not write about because others have already written about them who are much more educated in the areas. They have a burden for those areas, and God has called them to write on those particular pieces. Anyway, I just want to again thank you for reading the books. I continue to get emails from people who have read, especially Insurgents, Reclaiming the Gospel of the Kingdom, Regrace, Revise Us Again, Hang On, Let Go, From Eternity to Here, God's Favorite Place on Earth, being some of the most important works that I have written. All right, let's get into today's subject. 5 marks of a spiritual pioneer. Many years ago, I came across an article written by a friend of mine named Tony Imson, and she wrote about the marks of a pioneer. And I want to go ahead and list 5 of the marks that she specified that I believe are the most outstanding characteristics of any pioneer, including the spiritual pioneer. Number 1, pioneers have a life-changing encounter that shapes them and propels them forward. Number 2, pioneers are dissatisfied with what currently exists, and they dream of other worlds beyond their sphere. 3, pioneers have a deep sense of purpose that calls them forward to satisfy a longing. 4, pioneers have accusers and naysayers come out of expected and unexpected places. And 5, pioneers are stamped by inappropriate names and slanderous labels. Tony concludes, quote, "For those of you who are pioneers, do not give in to disappointment today. You are needed and wanted. Generations will benefit from your legacy. Those whom you don't know yet or will never know will be touched by your life." End of quote. And I will add that we are living in a day where God is preparing many 20-somethings who have met the Lord and who are on fire for God to be spiritual pioneers in the future. The great need, however, is for them to learn from those who have already blazed the trail, who have already been down the journey of being a spiritual trailblazer and pioneer. And there are many Christians in their 30s who the Lord is calling to pioneer, but they too would be very wise to find those who have pioneered before them, who have the track record and the scars to prove it. I know when I was a young man in my 20s, I was looking for such an individual. And I found a couple when I was 28 years old. One of them is no longer living. The other one is, well, gosh, I think the last time I heard he's 105 years old. Born in China. And these were men who had a tremendous impact on my own life. They were pioneers in their own regard. And so if you're someone in that age range, I would encourage you to also listen to episode 117, 5 Reasons Why You Should Have a Mentor. And you can find all of the episodes of this podcast at frankviola.info. Just click the podcast link. Well, I hope this has encouraged you. The body of Christ today is dying for a lack of pioneers, spiritual pioneers. There is a cost to pay to become such a person, and the benefit of having someone who has been there is incalculable. Until next time, be good. Hey guys, this is a postscript just before you head out and we part ways. I've created a bundle of free resources. This would include my other podcasts, the YouTube channel, several free ebooks, free seminars, and other free resources. And you can find all of that at frankviola.com. And if you go to frankviola.com, you will see in the top menu a link that says free stuff. You just click on that and you will be taken to the free resources page. Also, a number of you have asked if you could donate to help defray the costs of the podcasts and also to express appreciation for the value that you've been receiving. You're under no obligation to donate. I don't ask for donations, but should you have it on your heart to do so, you can go to frankviola.us. That's frankviola.us, and that will take you to a donate page. There's 3 different options you can use to donate, all of them simple. Thank you very much, and God bless.